Stakeholder management. Your project's success or failure will be determined by the way you interact with the stakeholders on a project as a project manager. It is very important for a project manager to maintain great relationships with all the stakeholders on the project, even with those stakeholders who are resistant to the project. You need to understand that. On the screen in front of you, I have listed on many people with their roles on the project, like a sponsor, the architect, the project manager, client, users, end users, the vendor, staffing team, DevOps team, the CAP team, test team, the project team. All these people are interested in what you're doing. Interested in what you're doing. They are also impacted by the project and they will have a level of influence on the project, on things that you need to do. So, all of them fall under the category of a stakeholder. Now, you as a project manager, you should know how you will interact with them, how you will interact with them, how you will engage with them, how you will facilitate discussions or meeting get a particular output, and how you integrate the whole project working with them, and how you will take the project to a success. Lot of work for a project manager when it comes to stakeholder management, and you need to know how to work with people. Let me give you more details through a small mind map below. Consider this project. Let's say you're working on a project, a website design project. This project will have a lot of stakeholders in it. Now, most of the times we think stakeholders are just one or two people on the project. No. PMBOK says there are three categories of stakeholders. Okay, it is the people. One is the people over here, and then you have got groups that are interested in what you're doing, and then organizations that are interested in what you're doing. Okay, now these people can be impacted in a positive or a negative way, or they can have a positive impact on the project or a negative impact project. Positive, they can be supportive of the project. Negative, they can be resistant to the project. Let's say you're doing an automation project in which you're going to automate some repeated task. Now the person doing the task might be resistant to it. Okay, and then these people can have a positive influence or a negative influence. So you see, you need to handle all these things when you're working on the project. Now, a project manager, a project manager works with the stakeholders. You have to work with the stakeholders to do what? To engage with them so that the project becomes a success. Why do you have to engage with them? You will also have to prioritize the stakeholders. Okay, when a sponsor says to do something, it might have more priority than when some other person who's like having less power and less interest on the project. Okay, so you'll have to prioritize who says what when you do it, and then you'll have to identify your stakeholders. It is a good practice to identify your stakeholders early in the project because it's going to be benefit you. It will be very helpful. If you identify late, sometimes they might come in late and put a lot of clauses and there will be some delays. Let's say, for example, you are in 2 months into the project and then somebody, a function manager comes and says, we need these automation scripts also to be done. And then this was not there earlier, right? Because you have not identified the stakeholder, this has not come up earlier. Okay, and then delays, or there can be reworks, right? So those things can happen. Now, when do you identify the stakeholders? Early, late, and then throughout the project. What are the instances during the project when you identify them? One is during the phase changes. When the project changes a particular phase, new stakeholders will come into picture. You'll have to identify them. Now, let's say you are working on a project and you finished off the design phase, done with the architect, and now you have to work on the development phase. You need some developers, some senior developers, some junior developers. You just had one senior developer, right? Now you're getting more people coming into it, so you'll have to engage them. And then, when there is an organizational change or structure change, you'll have to identify stakeholders. When somebody leaves a project or someone new comes into the project, okay, so that you'll have to do. Now, as I told, as a project manager, I already mentioned on top, you have to facilitate how you engage with them. You'll have to coordinate with these stakeholders. A lot of information for decision making. You'll have to kind of integrate entire project working with them, and then you'll have to kind of influence them the way you work, and use their influence also to get the project executed. So you see, there are like a lot of things you have to do as a project manager when you interact with stakeholders. As per PMBOK 6th edition, there are some new trends. The PMBOK says that don't just identify stakeholders, the one or two. You have to identify all the stakeholders. You saw the first image I showed on the top. It's got so many kind of categories of people, different roles. You will have to identify all of them, the different project team members, the end users, the test managers, or the test leads, or the DevOps people, or the CAP, or the staffing people who's going to help you with sourcing over there. So you'll have to identify everyone. Then involve team in stakeholder engagement activity. It is good practices to get your developers talk to the client. This will help you understand the requirements much better way. That will help them do the task much more faster, right? So the new trends will also capture the value of the engagement. What are the benefits of this engagement? Benefits. These are the new trends happening. What are the negative impacts of this particular engagement? You'll have to capture that. Like what happened to your reputation, if there was something reputation, or was there any loss? So all these things are captured as new trends. Now, some tailoring considerations as per the PMBOK is there is a large diversity of stakeholders now. It's just not just one or two people as I told. It can be from any function anywhere. The complexity of relationship increases. The bigger the project, more complex it is. The more people you have to work and manage. And there are like different modes of communication, right? You could interact with them in different ways like VoIP calls, mails, instant messengers, or through Facebook at work. So different ways of interacting with the stakeholders. And what are the agile considerations? Agile considerations is that there is no bureaucracy, right? And then after that, there is means it's like there's no hierarchy to interact with the client. It's better you have direct interactions, right? There's no different layers. That's what helps in agile, because we agile always says more or close stakeholder engagements, right? And then comes you co-create with stakeholders. You have daily scrums with stakeholders. You talk to them, you understand what's needed, you work very closely with them. And then frequent interactions. So these are things that you need to do for good stakeholder management. Please watch this video a couple of times. You'll understand the entire stakeholder management overview. uh, Let me know if you have any comments. Do subscribe to my channel. Watch this video a couple of more times so it helps you for PMP examination. I will be recording another video on identifying stakeholders and upload it on YouTube. Please do subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye.